Um, hello. Funny seeing you guys here
Again.
again on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Emergency podcast time. Huge IndyCar penalty, unprecedented. Um, Joseph Newgarden, you know that great start he had to the year, that undeniable performance. Well, it has been denied. It's been stripped. It's
Yeah.
gone. We are so not back. We are
I had
not
been
back.
saying for weeks, all of the last 45 days, that Joseph finally isn't starting the season off on a bad note. We're coming out of the gate strong. Joseph is now 11th in points.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and this is crazy. So they announced these penalties today, and at first we thought this was about the Long Beach race, right?
yeah.
We thought this was about the because obviously the Long Beach just happened, right? But no, this is about the St. Pete. What's the race called? The Streets of St. Pete race, the
Yeah.
Grand Prix IndyCar, whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called, but
Yeah. But
um,
y'all, I read the tweet. Someone sent it to me. And I was like, "Oh, okay, so penalties. Okay, so Joseph got penalized, whatever, okay." But then I read Pato Award is the winner. And I'm like, "What are you
that doesn't
talking
make
about? He
sense.
finished last, like, pretty much.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?"
did they flip the grid? Like what? Everyone cheated except the guy that didn't finish.
So then I had to be like, "Okay, what happened?" I took my break early at work and I was like, "Okay,
You
what's
said,
going
"Boss,
on?"
boss, there's an emergency. I can't. I gotta
It's a
go."
family situation.
Family
My
situation.
boys are in danger. I need to address a situation. For real though, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" So, my initial reaction was I was pissed, but we can kinda get
You
into it.
were.
I
You
was
were so
mad.
pissed. You said in text, like, "I don't think I'm a fan of IndyCar anymore." I said, "What the
So,
hell?"
and to clarify, it's not because I like Penske, that's not why, but let's talk about it.
All right. Your
Um,
background says otherwise, but whatever.
is this is this a new thing? No. The last time this happened was 1995. So it's new to Zach and I. This has never
Yeah.
happened in our lifetimes. Probably a majority of our listeners, according to the demographics that Spotify and YouTube give us, this is not in your lifetimes either. So this is new to pretty much all of us here. Uh, the last time was 1995 with Al Unser Jr. Coincidentally, was also Team Penske.
Do we know why? I'm gonna look it up.
I did not look that far, Zach.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm
It was
curious.
he was just qualified though. Um, but why did this penalty happen? So push to pass was used by the two of Newgarden and the three of McLaughlin. At times, it was not supposed to be accessible, such as restarts. Kind of like in F1, you can't use whatever they use. I forget what it's called at this point, but you can't use push to pass for like 2 laps, I believe, after from a restart into a run. So that happened, and then how'd this happen? Tim Cindric and his quote, and this could be not true because you don't want to say, "Oh yeah, we cheated," you know, you know. But Tim Cindric said that it was they had it on this like function to keep it on at all
Yeah,
times
the
during
software.
the software.
Yeah, imagine it's like programmed to like let the
Yeah,
push the pass be active whenever, right? Because the whole thing with push the pass, the way they enforce that rule is all the cars, I assume, have some kind of software that,
mm,
when there's restarts happening, you can't use the push to pass, right, to follow the rule. But
yeah,
because they were testing hybrids, that software was
yeah.
different. And they forgot, I guess Team Penske forgot to change it back on their cars, right? Because
That's what they're saying.
when I first read this, I'm like, so who's responsible, right? Like, is it like something with the IndyCar officials, or is it with the Team Penske engineers and such? Because
Yeah,
that kind of makes a big difference to me, I guess.
yeah.
Maybe it doesn't.
And so for me, I guess the next question is like, why would Penske do this? Um, and it could have been an accident, like Tim Cindric claims. I don't know if I believe that
I
because
don't.
racing is such a core relationship with cheating, and every single team cheats, right? Chip Ganassi
Yes.
Racing, they cheat. Team Penske cheats. Even look over in NASCAR, Hendrick Motorsports, they cheat. Joe Gibbs Racing
Yeah.
cheats.
I'm cheating in
Like,
fantasy now, apparently, because I'm
well,
I'm,
yeah,
ta- I'm taking that fantasy point
you just got a
because you
free
picked
point.
McLaughlin. You picked McLaughlin
I
at
did.
Indy or at a St. Pete. I'm like, yep, give me that. I'll take that point. Yep. Yeah.
But
So we
why
all
would
cheat.
they do that? There was a lot of discussion about this on social media, and people were calling them cheaters. It's a part of racing, and you're
It is.
going to push to get as much of an advantage as you can get without either one getting caught or staying within a gray area where it's like technically not out of the rule book.
Yeah. They almost got
And
away with it.
a lot of our listeners, watchers, are NASCAR fans. So if you watching 2000s, Chad Knaus was in trouble so many times, but
He
he's considered one of the greatest of all
he
time
was a
crew
bad
chiefs.
boy.
He was so naughty, just
Hmm.
so naughty, Chad Knaus. But look, he won 7 championships with Jimmy Johnson,
Yep.
and cheating cheating, if you want to call it that, that's a big part of it.
Dale Jr. calls it in ingenuity. Oh, damn it. I messed that up. I don't remember what it's called, but he has a word for it. And Dale Jr. loves it. He thinks that, again, he agrees with you. That's what racing's all about.
Yeah. And like, look, even at like the local short tracks, they're cheating. If the guy out front is really, really good, they're cheating. Like, yeah, they have skill too, but they're cheating. Like, they found an advantage somewhere. The guy in last is probably not cheating because they don't know how to do it. Right. So it's part of
It's,
racing.
yeah.
I mean, look at Red Bull and F1. They've probably found an advantage somewhere that no one is catching either. It's the same kind of thing. But so I don't blame them. And as a Penske fan, I would want my team to try finding as many advantages as they can to perform better. Because
Yes.
if you don't do that, you're not going to run well.
Yeah.
Like it's just part of it.
That's the hard part of building a fast race car, right? Like, that's
Right.
kind of the hard part of it. We don't know what that's like because, of course, we're gay.
We're gay.
We have never touched a race car, never more,
Yeah.
worked on a race car, but so we don't know what that's like, but you can just imagine all the different, I mean, in the box that these teams are put in, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's only so much they can do legally, right?
Yep.
And you know what? They almost got away with this, right? Because this was found at the Long Beach warm up, so it's like
Yeah.
if they would have if they would have like reverted it back before going to Long Beach, would we ever even be talking about this? That's what I wonder.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and there's like speculation, like how long have they actually had it? Like if Tim Cindric is not telling the truth, which I would probably bet money on that, have they been doing this throughout all last season?
Well, if it's from
Hard to
hybrid
say.
testing, if it's from
I,
just hybrid
I,
testing, I assume it's
but
just
that
the
might just
season.
be what he's saying. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but if you want to
Jesus.
think about it, you know, but
I don't
who
know.
knows? Who knows? But there you go. But why did it happen now? Right? You said they didn't find it until Long Beach. That's right. And this is sort of where I got a little mad, a little angry about this,
That's
because
the worst part about
frustrated.
this whole thing. Because, and back to
Yeah.
Al Unser Jr., that happened an hour after the race, right? Because his
Okay.
car didn't
Yeah.
meet a 2-inch clearance under the car, right? That happens an hour out of the race, right? When we see the rare DQ in NASCAR, it happens an hour or two, or maybe even like three after the race, right? By
Yeah.
tomorrow, everyone knows, oh, okay, it does it still suck? Yes, it sucks because the guy you saw cross the line um is not the winner anymore. But
Hmm.
for this to happen 45 days ago, this race happened 45 days ago.
It's ridiculous,
So Denny
honestly.
Hamlin's getting his Richmond win taken away, right?
We're not quite the 45 days, I don't think.
Okay.
Don't count it out.
Because he did break that rule, right? Are they going to find
Yeah.
new
I mean,
evidence to suggest that he broke the rule?
maybe there's still time.
There's
Maybe
some time.
there's still time.
I don't know.
So, yeah, 45 days. And
Like,
for
this just looks
me,
bad.
initially, when I first saw this, one, I didn't know all the context, right? But two, it's just like this happened nearly 2 months ago.
We've had two events since then in IndyCar,
Yeah.
plus a month break.
It's like a lot of people aren't even thinking about St. Petersburg. Like you said,
Right.
Zach, at the start, we thought
Right.
this was about Long Beach. That just happened.
Yeah.
And of course, this was the right choice. You have to penalize things when you are
Hmm.
caught cheating. You have to do that. That is the right choice. And IndyCar president Jay Fry says as much. He said, quote, "The integrity of the IndyCar
Yes.
Series championship is critical to everything we do."
God, and I appreciate that so much.
And he goes on to say that the violation went undetected at St. Pete. IndyCar discovered the manipulation during Sunday's warm-up at Long Beach. And he's right. Like, the integrity is very important of the IndyCar series.
It is. And because listen, NASCAR and their championship, what's integrity, right? They've changed that format. The format barely has integrity. And then Formula 1 in 2021 showed how much integrity their championship format has with
Mhm.
the Abu Dhabi, you know, green white checkered, right? IndyCar's championship has never really been it's never had its integrity questioned. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm forgetting something big, but it's never had it questioned, and it's one of the few big motorsports left where I think it could say that, right?
Yeah.
Because entertainment and trying to get all these flashy moments to happen, it's coming
Well,
at the cost of pure racing.
I'd
And
argue the end of last year's Indianapolis
well,
500 has
yes,
some questions into it.
yes. So
And
there is
that
parts of that leaking into IndyCar, but I have to appreciate
overall,
IndyCar not only just sticking to keeping the integrity of the championship, calling this out, but calling it out for the boss's team because Roger
yeah.
Penske owns IndyCar. That's a bold thing, for
Yep.
IndyCar officials to heavily penalize, because this is a huge penalty, an
It is.
unprecedented penalty. This has never happened in the history of the sport at this degree, right?
Yeah.
I have to appreciate and respect them for holding that integrity up, because other motorsports don't value their own integrity like that.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. So that takes me back to why I was upset about this initially. It's the 45 days, and the problem isn't the penalty, it's the schedule because we had 45 days between actual races and the
that's true.
championship. They say in all their quotes, a championship race, this is not allowed, what they did. So they didn't even bother looking at thermal. They didn't care. That's not a championship race. But 45 days it took to do this, and I get it. They didn't find it until now, and it's good they said it. But with all the optics going on in IndyCar right now, there is just very little besides the actual on-track product to be happy about
Mhm.
within the IndyCar series. Like Long Beach is the IndyCar series' second biggest race, and it had the lowest television ratings on cable. That's not on, so not a Peacock race, not an NBC, ABC, whatever, and no weather impact. This was the second lowest rated or watched race for IndyCar since 2013. The only
That's
one lower was
bad.
Mid Ohio 2015.
That is so bad. And it's like I was talking about on Monday's episode. Man, that was a great race. IndyCar needed a race like this. Too
Yep.
bad only 3 people saw it.
And
Right?
it was, to be clear, it was 307,000 people, which
Yes.
is not a lot for television
Yeah.
at all. It's not good. It
SRX
just
was getting more, right?
and that series is dead.
That series is
SRX is
dead.
dead, and it was getting more than what IndyCar just got for their second biggest race of the year. Of course, that was on USA. You can get into all that, but like still, the optics are horrible. And now you're getting all this traction, and sure, drama can be good, sure, but you're getting all this negative press basically that's like, "Hey, we're disqualifying someone 45 days later."
We're so
It's like that
incompetent that it took us 45 days to find this
and
out. That's what it
see,
looks like. That's what it
that's what it
looks like.
looks like.
Even though that's not what happened, that's what it looks like
Yes.
to all the people that aren't going to bother to click the article because it's
I had
Twitter.
s I had several NASCAR friends, like, they're very casual into IndyCar,
Yeah,
texting me or messaging me, like, "Why did it take this long?" And sure,
that's a
we
fair question.
understand it happened at Long Beach this past weekend, but there's no race besides thermal that happened for this to be caught, and that is a problem. They need to fix this schedule because it should not have taken this long to find it. It's not their fault. Again, it's not their fault. But the schedule, it's the schedule's fault. So technically it is their fault 'cause they made the schedule.
Well, yeah.
But they need to that is unacceptable. They need to just move St. Pete to, like, early April or something if we're gonna do this. But,
I'm not crying, I promise.
frustrating.
I'm not crying. I'm just
Crying
cry.
towel?
Crying towel?
Oh,
I'm a Team Penske fan. Joseph's never gonna win a
no.
championship again. No, these are the Scott McLaughlin fans because he's last in points.
Oh, no.
Dead because look, now he has basically 2 last place finishes. So
Yeah.
Jesus,
Wow.
poor
Yeah.
Scotty. Oh my god.
So, TLDR, is this an actually bad thing? No, but it's a bad look.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
it.
not
That's what it
ideal.
is. A bad look. It is a bad look.
And I I'm in a group chat with all the Grid Network all my Grid Network team over there, and I asked in the chat, "Can you name one good thing that has happened in IndyCar that has not happened on track?" The silence was loud. There was one thing that could be brought up, and that was
Wait,
Prima joining IndyCar.
I know something.
What's that?
Pato Award won. It didn't happen on track, but he still won.
You know what? Fair
You know what?
enough. Fair
Yay!
enough.
Pato won!
Good for
Yay!
Pato. Yes.
What did front row Brad tweeted on Twitter? He said, well, what was it? It's like IndyCar's the only one giving us action on a Wednesday.
I mean, fair enough. I
God.
guess that can be counted as a good thing that's happened, but I don't know. Just a
Didn't
bit
happen on
messy.
track. That was funny. I'm so funny. God,
You really are.
I'm patting myself on the back for that one. That was good. Go McLaren. Go McLaren. My boys got Larson in May. We're on a roll now. We're just on a roll. So God,
Yeah, they're building the momentum.
they're building the momentum for Indy.
But
Oh
yeah,
God.
is there anything else to say about this? Because, like, I'm now that I know the full context, I'm not as mad about it. I get it. It's still just
Yes.
frustrating with all the bad things that have happened within IndyCar, all the negative news stories.
God.
We're
I
coming off a horrible TV rating. I mean, at least that there's a race this weekend. We're not waiting another 45 days.
I
That's
know. We don't
good.
at least we don't have to sit on this forever.
Yeah.
Joseph this weekend, I don't if I see that 2 car behind me, I'm getting out of the way.
Well, yeah, he's like because Cindric just said the other day, like, well, the rules are changed now. Is Joseph going to be pissed and trying to shut everyone's gearboxes off? Like,
I
what's
don't
going to be
know.
happening? I
Joseph,
don't think so. By
and
the way.
this is the thing that also concern. Let's speak as Joseph fans for a moment.
Hmm.
Joseph's mental has never been in a better place going into the season.
Mm,
What
yeah,
does the Long Beach thing? I don't know if that really did anything, but now this penalty,
this
how is
on
that
top
going
of
to
the Long
affect?
Beach thing.
Right, how is this going to affect his mental?
Is he going to be driving too
Is he
hard, too
going to go
aggressively?
insane? Because the last thing we need now is for him to make a mistake at Barber
Yep,
because he's pushing too
that
hard.
is concerning. Yeah,
So, and now he's got to play catch up to Scott Dixon.
terrifying.
Where? Oh, it's 2020 again. Well, here we
Yep.
are. Jesus.
And that was my whole thing for weeks is that he's not behind, but now he's behind.
Now he's behind. Well, he knows how to play from behind. No homo. So he should be fine. I
Yeah.
hope. Indy's coming
Like,
up. Ovals again. The ovals. There's ovals. We still got ovals. Um,
yep.
Imagine if obviously there's no push to pass at Indy, but imagine this happened for an Indy 500 win.
That'd be so
For
bad.
maybe I don't know what rule it would be because again, no push to pass, but
Yeah.
like, but how hard it must have been for IndyCar as a sanctioning body to enforce their rules and to
Mhm.
uphold the integrity of their championship is I just feel like that can't be stated enough. Like
Yeah.
that's so impressive that they are sacrificing their already negative reputation even more
Yeah.
just for the sake of motorsport. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I gotta respect it, but
No, I
yeah,
get it.
I don't know. Well,
It's a very mixed emotion
I don't know how to
kind of
feel about it.
thing.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't. I shouldn't be like sad,
Like, I'm
but
not happy though.
I am a
Like, I'm
little
not I don't
frustrated
know.
that because at the end of the day, Team Penske brought illegal cars to the track.
Yeah.
They did, and
And this is a fair penalty.
Joseph and Scott using push to pass on a restart. I mean, you're doing that on purpose. You have to push the button. You're
Mhm.
doing that on purpose. They know. Like
Yeah.
they know. So it's
Yeah.
not like they cheated. They did. And again,
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing per se, like morally, but it's a weird again, this situation has never happened in IndyCar. I hope it never happens again.
Yeah.
They're going forward, they're gonna have a new what's it called? What's the word? A new system in place to I guess check the software that's in the car in the push to
Yeah.
pass system.
That'd be that'd be good.
Well,
That makes
that's
sense
what
to have.
that's
Yeah.
the yeah, that's the plan. I forgot what article. I think it was the article by what's it called? Race at We Are the
Mhm.
Race. So, um yeah. So going forward, hopefully this never happens again.
Yeah.
But
Hope not.
we got hybrid cars coming mid-season. There might be a bunch of rules with that, and that's going to shake up Jesus Christ. That's going to shake up the championship too. It's so weird that they're bringing that in mid-season, but
I know. I don't know if I like that. But yeah, that's a
well,
whole different topic.
that's a whole different topic. Well, listen. One thing's for sure, the 2024 IndyCar season is unlike any other, for good or for better or worse,
Yeah.
and it's only going to get more interesting from here. Well, maybe
Yep.
not more interesting, but well, I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a battle for the ages, whether it's between drivers or between teams and the sanctioning body. So yeah, I think that's all we really got to say about that. Thank you guys for tuning in for this emergency episode. A few things before we get on out of here. We just uploaded our NASCAR paint scheme review with Davin at Drive Through on the YouTube channel. So check that out. It's been on our Patreon for a little while, but now everyone can see it. It's part one. It's going to
Yeah.
come in some more parts. And if you like what you saw today, from us, not the penalties, from us, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/gay racing podcast. Right? Yeah.
Pod.
Oops, gay racing pod. You do this part. I never do this part. I'm taking your job. It's like when I'm at the grocery store and my mom takes the cart from me. Like, no, I'm pushing the cart.
Yeah.
Where can people
But
follow
yeah,
us, Alex?
you can follow us on socials at Gay Racing Pod, not podcast,
Pod.
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 The, we're on Twitter, Instagram. We're on Threads. That's mainly just like the episode notification. TikTok. We're really pushing TikTok. I know
Yeah.
they just signed a thing today to ban it. We'll see what happens there.
We'll be on there until it's gone.
Yeah, we'll be there. Obviously, YouTube. If you're watching video, you're on YouTube. Um,
Like and
you can
subscribe,
follow,
please.
yeah, like and subscribe,
Look
ring
at
the
my pretty
bell, all that
thumbnails.
stuff. And then I'm at Newgaden on social. Zach is at Dreamy Zach Racing on socials.
All right, we'll see you guys. Hopefully, we don't have to have another emergency podcast before next week's episode. Next week, we're going to talk about IndyCar at Barber and NASCAR at Dover, and we will see you guys then. Bye bye.
Bye.